Dr. Brian and I crossed paths. We shared passions for the earth, clean, free energy, the environment, humanity, and the ecosystem. We both wanted to see humanity progress. We began to support each other's work, and this led to a mutual passion for human progression. He served on the board of a company that I co-founded, and we spent some time in Montesinos, where he and Mare, his wife, had their own little piece of paradise. Meredith was a spiritual artist, and she and Brian together were great complements. Montesinos even hosted and got involved in our efforts to do children's events. They had great parties at Montesinos, and even at an advanced age, Meredith would dance around like a child on her birthday, so delighted by a crown of flowers that I made her. They were both good souls, both doing their part to raise the consciousness of humanity. Losing both too soon brought many tears for those of us who knew them. They touched many souls in their lifetime. I saw Brian as someone who came to serve humanity. I felt blessed to know such a man. He is one of many wonderful souls that I have crossed paths with. He also spent time speaking out against the darkness on Earth. He was very aware of many of the problems many years before they became well known in the public. It deeply concerned him, and he wanted to see humanity progress and become members of a bigger picture. He was candid about this darkness with friends and those he spoke with on the subjects. He advocated for full disclosure and exposing the darkness so that light could come in.
I had a friend who was a scientist, and shortly after his death, he came to me in a dream. He said he had a very important reminder that he wanted to share. He showed me his life like a story, and how those times that he concentrated for too long on darkness were like drops of wasted gold. He reminded me not to dwell on the darkness for too long, and to turn and to plant light. You see, he didn't want to be remembered for fighting the darkness. He wanted to be remembered for planting light. Its time is done, and we need to let go of darkness by knowing it is there and acknowledging the responsibility to say no, turn from it, don't dwell on its power, fear, and turning and planting light. That is how we move beyond this darkness. Hell is on earth and around earth. If we graduate, then we will move on to remembering and understanding to a greater level, instead of being trapped in a hamster wheel of forgetfulness and trying to get to a false perfection. Remember that wisdom and love need to be balanced. Knowledge without love only allows darkness to thrive, and it's love that brings compassion, kindness, unity, and empowerment. It is love that will bring an end to darkness. Human trafficking or slavery is the largest industry on the planet. One child kidnapped, molested, or sacrificed in a dark cult is one too many. And as positive beings, we say a very big no to these events. Enough of this level of darkness and manipulation. It must stop. Enough to the industries that create destructive energy sources that are harming our planet. Enough to the damage done to our food supply. Enough to the greed that leaves children starving in Africa or a mother dying of cancer. Enough is enough. We must end these extreme negative events. I was assured by my soul family that not everyone in the universe sees this current system as balanced, and I agree. They come from beyond polarity. They know that knowledge without love only allows darkness to thrive. They know that the extreme of darkness is not necessary, and they seek light introspectively and unity in the ultimate state of love. Be assured that eventually darkness must be integrated into the light. All their work to polarize in the power of darkness will be met with the realization that they must abandon darkness in order to continue their existence. In order to integrate back to God's source, those individuals will have to give up their darkness in order to advance. What a moment of realization it would be to say, for example, Ted Bundy, who would have to come to realize the true depth of depravity he has caused his own soul and that of others. He would have had to come to understand that what he did to others, he also did to himself. When we reach that place of complete integration of the Creator Source, we understand how we are all one and connected in our lives. Darkness will not prevail, and light is the only way back to the Creator Source. Eventually, all their depravity must cease. Know that this unfair and great darkness that some have plunged to will end, and they do not get to play this game forever. In the meantime, know that this lifetime is not permanent, and this matrix must not last. We will have the opportunities to experience many other things. Those are positive will eventually get beyond this rigged matrix to a more balanced existence, where we are not manipulated by the forgetful veil and those who are truly dark. We will see an end to this level of suffering. We will eventually exist in a realm where what we intend is really what we truly experience without manipulation of others or the forgetful veil. On the higher planes, they respect free will on a level that does not occur on this planet. Their rules and directives do not fit our matrix, and we need special exceptions to how we end this darkness on Earth. We need to wake up and see that our consciousness needs to grow. It's time for our intentions to change that. It is also important to note that we can get beyond karma and the idea of a sinful nature. We do not have to keep paying karma and returning to get it perfect. That is an unrealistic concept in our material world. It is time for us to move beyond the idea of karma and turn the tables on this matrix. The key is in forgiveness and integrating ourselves with love and peace. Then, when we are told we must pay for our situations, we can be wise enough to say no and mean it, and then be free of this reincarnation cycle where we have been locked into for far too long. We need to outgrow the idea of needing darkness in order to understand light. While there is some purpose and free will to explore and understand other perspectives, the depth of darkness on Earth is an experiment in darkness that is not necessary. It is extreme and sadistic. We now claim our right as a spark of God's source and choose to be open to a more ascended world where we will have access to the full spectrum of life.